At some point in the recruiting process, every parent faces the same moment. Something happens and you're not sure whether to jump in or stay back. Maybe a coach stops responding. Maybe your child sends an email and it does not come across right. Maybe an offer comes in and the numbers don't make sense. Maybe your athlete is struggling emotionally and you don't know whether to push or give them space. And in that moment, most parents either do too much or do nothing at all. Both of those choices have consequences. And knowing the difference between the two is one of the most valuable things you can learn as a recruiting parent. It's exactly what this video is about. But if you're new here, my name is Keith Mondillo. I'm entering my 32nd year as an NCAA Director of Athletics and head basketball coach. I've been on both sides of this process. I've sat on the other side, reading the emails, watching the film, taking the calls, and making the decisions about who gets a roster spot and who doesn't. And what I can tell you after 31 years in this, the families who navigate this process the best are not the ones who are the most involved. They're the ones who know exactly when to be involved and when to get out of the way. Before I get into this, I want to be clear about who this video is built for. This content is specifically for families whose athletes are navigating Division 2 and 3, NAIA, junior college, the non-scholarship Division 1 level, and the mid-major Division 1s. And I want to say something directly. A lot of families in this audience don't realize that they're in it yet. You might be watching your child play and wondering whether Division 1 is still on the table. And that's a fair question, and I respect that. But here's what I know after 31 years. The majority of high school athletes who go on to compete in the college level are competing at Divisions 2 and 3, NAIA, and junior college. Those programs offer an incredible college athletic experience, outstanding academics, real playing time, genuine relationships with coaches who recruited your child because they actually want them on their roster. If your family's navigating any of those levels, this channel and this video is for you. Everything I'm about to share applies directly to your situation. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly when to step in, exactly when to step back, and how to tell the difference between the two in the moment when it actually matters. Here's the best way I can describe the parent role in this process. Think of recruiting like a relay race. Your athlete is the one running. They're the ones sending the emails, making the calls, going on the visits, and building the relationships with coaches. They are actually running the race. But a relay race has handoffs, and there are specific moments where the baton gets passed. And when someone else on the team steps in at the exact right moment to keep the race moving forward. Your job as a parent is to be ready for those handoffs, not to grab the baton before it's time, not to run alongside your athlete the whole race, but to know exactly when it's your turn and to step in cleanly and confidently when that moment comes. When families operate this way, the process gets calmer, more organized, and more effective. The athlete builds real confidence, and the parent stays involved in a way that actually helps instead of hurts. Let me be direct about the areas where parents need to stay out of the way. Coach communication has to be owned by the athlete. Every email, every phone call, every text message, every conversation on a campus visit that belongs to your child. The moment a parent takes over that communication, a coach starts to ask questions about that athlete's maturity and readiness for college life. And those are not questions you want a coach asking. Now, here's something important. I'm not saying parents should be completely hands off when it comes to communication. That's not realistic. And honestly, it's not even the right approach. Your athlete needs guidance. They've never done this before. What I'm saying is this: your job is to help them prepare, not to do it for them. Sit down together before you send out every email. Talk through what they want to say. Help them understand the tone, the professionalism, the purpose of the message. Role play the phone call with them. Ask them to ask questions a coach might ask so they're not caught off guard. Help them think through what to say on a campus visit. Do the preparation together, but let them execute it alone. Because here's the reality. Your athlete needs to have skin in the game. They need to understand what's at stake. They need to feel the weight of this process. So when that offer comes in or a decision has to be made, they're ready to handle it. If you write every email and make every call, they arrive at college having never truly owned any of it. And that athlete is not ready. The athlete who prepares with their parent and then executes on their own builds something that cannot be faked. Coaches see it, and it changes how they view that recruit entirely. School selection is also the athlete's process to lead. You can ask questions, you can offer perspectives, but the opinions and the preferences need to come from your child. If they commit to a school because you push them toward it and the experience doesn't go the way they hoped, well, that resentment comes back to you. And emotional pressure is another area where parents need to step back. When your child's frustrated, discouraged, or feeling like nothing's working, your job is not to add pressure. Your job is to be the calm in the room, to remind them that this process is long and that setbacks are a part of it. The parent who piles on during the hard moments makes everything worse. And the parent who stays steady makes their athlete stronger. Now, here's the flip side. There are specific moments in this process where a parent stepping in is not just okay, it's absolutely necessary. The first is logistics and organization, travel planning, application deadlines, campus visit scheduling, keeping track of coach communication timelines. This is an area where a parent's involvement keeps the process moving and prevents things from falling through the cracks. Your athlete should not be managing all of this alone. You're the organizer. That's a legitimate and valued role. The second is academics. If your child's grades are slipping, if eligibility is at risk, and if they're not on track with coursework, coaches are going to ask about it. You step in. This is not negotiable. Academics are the foundation of every athletic opportunity. Without them, nothing else matters. Third, and this is the most important, is financial aid. Your 16 or 17-year-old is not equipped to evaluate a financial aid package on their own. When offers come in and the financial conversations start, you're at the table fully. You're asking the questions. You're comparing the real numbers. You're making sure your family understand what each school actually costs after every form of aid is applied. This is the place where a parent's involvement protects the family from making a very expensive emotional decision. And the fourth is when your athlete asks for your help. When they come to you and say, I don't know what to do. I need your perspective. I'm struggling with this decision. That's your moment. Not before, not instead of, when they invite you in. That's when you show up fully with everything you have. Here's a simple framework for those in between moments when you're not sure whether to step in or step back. Ask yourself this one question. If I do this, does it build my child's confidence and independence, or does it replace it? If what you're about to do builds them up, teaches them something, prepares them for the next step, or protects the family financially, step in. If what you're about to do takes something away from your athlete, removes an opportunity for them to grow, or sends a message to a coach that this kid cannot handle things on their own, step back. That one question cuts through almost every moment of uncertainty that you'll face in this process. The families who ask it constantly are the ones who look back on recruiting without regret. Their athlete grew through it. The relationship got stronger because of it. And their child arrived at college ready for everything that comes next. Now, I want to be honest with you about something. Knowing when to step in and when to step back sounds real simple. But in the middle of a 2 or 3 year recruiting process with emotions running high and your child's future feeling like it's on the line every day, simple is not always easy. You need a structure to fall back on, a framework that tells you what your role is at every stage of this journey, so you're not making it up as you go. Think about it this way. You wouldn't start a new job without orientation. You wouldn't walk in on day one without someone showing you how the system works, who the players are, and what the expectations are, and what you're supposed to do first. But families spend thousands of dollars every year on travel teams, showcases, hotel rooms, private lessons, and entry fees without ever getting a real orientation to how the college athletic recruiting process actually works. And then they wonder why everything feels so chaotic. Well, that's exactly what the college recruiting on ramp system is. It's your family's complete orientation to this process. It shows you how recruiting works behind the scenes, what your role is at every phase, and exactly what to do first, next, and after that. From confused to clear, from reactive to structured, from guessing to executing. You can find it at keithmondillo.com, and I'll drop the link directly in the description below. Go check it out right now. In the next video, I'm going to cover something that stops most recruiting families cold at some point in this process. What do you do as a parent when coaches stop responding? The silence is one of the hardest parts of recruiting to navigate. Most families panic. They assume the worst, and they often make moves in silence that actually make things worse. That video is already in this playlist. Watch it next, and I'll see you there.